up, tankers? Welcome back to another one of my videos. I am Blitz, and today I'm going to be talking about the 047. Now, this has just hit the game today in a special offer for 10,000 gold. Now, what do you get? You get the 047, of course. You also get the Phoenix Camouflage and 9 of the equipment slots. So you do get the whole package when you do purchase this tank. And to be honest, 10,000 gold is not a super expensive price tag. So as always, I'm going to be talking about the tank, how to run it, where to run it, and of course whether or not it is worth the price tag stuck on it. Now, straight off the bat, I actually wasn't expecting this tank to be anything super special, just because I really never wanted to get this tank in the first place. I missed it the first time it came out, and I really never had the option to get it again. And I'm not a huge fan of the look of it personally. I think it sort of looks like a boat. But I know some of you guys are a huge fan of the Japanese-style tanks like this one. So if you are a huge fan, you are in luck, because I actually do really like the playstyle of the 047. Now, it only has 2100 damage per minute, but don't be fooled by that. As I have said before, statistics do not define how a tank plays on the battlefield, because the 047 actually has quite funky armor. As you can see there, I actually managed to bounce a shell on the rear of my tank, because it's just got really funky angles. You can see the front of it has some pretty aggressive slopes stuck on it, and the sides are still very aggressively sloped. You can see the whole tank is pretty odd to shoot at. And one thing I never knew about the 047 until I actually picked it up in the garage is that cupola that looks like it's just this huge weak spot at the top of the tank actually isn't a cupola at all. It's like this little flat piece of armor at the front of it, or the front top of the turret. However, it actually still acts like a cupola, so I never knew that, but that is one little cool thing I learned about the tank. So it does have some very nice characteristics, and you can see here I managed to take out 2 Tier 8 enemy tanks, a little bit of help from my teammates, but I did manage to take out 2 enemy Tier 8 mediums with my 1, bouncing only 450, but it's got very funky angles and stuff. And I think that it's pretty good at actually bouncing shots. The turret is sitting around 220 millimeters thick in the front, which means that it's definitely excellent for using its gun depression. And it does get 8 degrees of it, which is a pretty decent amount. You're definitely going to be able to fight the enemy comfortably on any ridgeline you get stuck in. And as I said, the damage per minute isn't spectacular. However, it's not a huge downfall because it only does 225 damage. You still only have pretty much a 6.4 second reload when running this tank. Now, I do put calibrated on it because it gets those heat rounds. And the only reason I do put calibrated, as I tell most of you guys, is because it brings the standard heat pen of around 260 up to 287, which is just a crazy difference in pen. So it's definitely worth it, in my opinion, for the calibrated over the gun rammer. But you can see here, the first game I played, 2,677 damage, only 450 blocks, but we did manage to survive with 11 hit points. And this is just the cup of the tea. Wait until you see the next game we play. I really do think this is actually a very fun tank to run, and it's got some very nice statistics stuck on with it. Now you can see I'm stuck on the map New Bay, which is not one of my favorite maps. However, it is a very good map if you run mediums, especially ones with gun depression, and you're going to see just how well the 047 can do. Now, the type of playstyle I would rate this tank, I'd actually say it's very good at being a frontline medium. It's got very nice armor, and as I said, the damage per minute isn't spectacular, but that is because of how the armor is so funky, and it's got excellent gun depression. As I said, it's got very funky armor. And the gun has really good penetration. It's only sitting at around 199 for your standard rounds, but the heat rounds just have so much penetration, you're really not going to have to worry about bouncing any tank that you come up against. And the gun is very accurate. The dispersion of it is only sitting at 0.326. Now, that's not an amazing dispersion. However, the aiming time of 1.9 really aims in quickly. You can see here that's not a very large aiming circle, and that's because the dispersion when moving the turret is a very nice amount of only 0.08. That is almost, one of the best at tier 8, to be honest. And that's really good because that means you're going to very accurately shoot on the run. And this tank is pretty quick forwards, goes 55, so you're definitely one of the faster types of mediums. It's not like you're a slower medium because you've got that decent armor. You actually have some nice speed hooked up with it. Now, I will say that the tank isn't spectacular at accelerating, and it probably takes a good 5 or 6 seconds to get up to 55, but once you do get up to that top speed, it is a very, very menacing tank to come up against, because it's very quick on the turning, very maneuverable. You can use your excellent gun handling characteristics on the run, snapshots. I really think it's a very, very good tank, and it backs up at 20, which is a pretty good backup speed as well. Power to weight ratio is excellent, sitting at around 17.55 on hard terrain. However, soft terrain's only 12.87, so that's where the acceleration isn't the best. And the traverse speed is also very, very quick at 54.67 degrees. So overall, the statistics on this tank are very nice, to be honest, all around it. I'd say it's a pretty average tank, though. I wouldn't rate it overpowered in any means. It's definitely not, like a WZ-120. You're not going to be pulling off ridiculously overpowered games. You're going to see here, I'm just going to use the tank like you'd use any other medium with gun depression, and just try and rack up as much damage as I can. But the gun is just so accurate. I sort of fell in love with the gun on this tank. I've only played 8 games of it, and 2 of the games were 4,300 damage. I haven't pulled out 4,300 damage in Tier 8 in a while, and the fact that I managed to pull out 2 of those games in this tank within literally 8 games is ridiculous. However, one of the games is just awful, and I didn't want to show any of you guys that just because the next highest damage on my team was literally 300. But you can see here, it does rack up the damage. Just because it doesn't have a good damage, it doesn't define a tank's characteristics. And this is a great way to really show that. And you can see there that T-49 just barely even scratches us when he shoots me, because this tank just has excellent spaced armor on the sides. It's got very good frontal armor. Overall, against any mediums, pretty much any Tier 7s, and even some Tier 8s are going to get the occasional bounce on you. Now, we haven't blocked any damage, of course, because that T-49's been spamming HE at us, but it really just does an excellent job at being a tough medium to really take out. Again, you can see aiming time goes right in there, able to snap that other 047. And are we going to be able to finish him off? Come on, get a nice shot. Yes, we do. 1 tank left, 4,250 damage stuck on our tank. And boom, the final shell goes in, 4,368 damage. That is excellent. We got 5 kills, a mastery. I really didn't expect to like this tank as much as I did. So to be honest, after all the things learned about the tank, I would say it's worth it. I really do like it. It's excellent at doing its part. It can definitely hold a line, scare the enemy off, and it looks pretty cool as well. I'm not a huge fan of the tank myself, the look of it, just because I was never into the Japanese style looking tanks, but it definitely has a very unique look, and I like that because as most of you guys know that have watched my channel a lot, I really like unique looking tanks, and this checks all of the boxes of being unique. It's got a very nice camo color. I do like the color of the paint scheme, everything I like about the tank, to be honest, and I think it looks pretty cool. So yeah, I really do like the tank. I think it is worth the gold. What is it, $35? And you get the camouflage and the full equipment slots, and you can see my equipment loadout here really quick if you want to pause just to see what I do run on it. But again, you can see that aiming time's very good at 3.4. And just a little heads up, when I do read the aiming time, I'm reading it off of Blitzhanger, and it displays it differently at 1.9 on Blitzhanger. I'm not sure why it is different, but it is 3.4 seconds. It's 1.9 on Blitzhanger. I'm going to try and figure out what that means. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, click the bell button so you're notified when newer videos of mine pop up. And newer ones should be popping up. Funny story, literally, I was going to post a video yesterday, but my iPad charger decided to break. So I could not get a video out. My phone died, and then my iPad died. And I tried to play a little bit on PC, but I could not get a game out for the love of God. Yes, I did get a new charger. Went to Best Buy, 50 bucks later. Here we are, and I'm pretty happy. So I hope you guys did enjoy this. I'll see you in the next one.